Hello, hi Joanna.
Hi, Samina.
Hi. So, for those of you watching, Joanna is going to be coming to Awaken the Goddess 2018 on the 28th of July, and she will be giving a really amazing workshop, and she'll be having a stall all day. So, Joanna, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do.
Thank you, Samina. Well, my full name, I have to introduce that because it's such a long one, Joanna Bristow-Watkins, and I run Harmony Healing, and I'm an alchemist. So most people know alchemy as changing lead to gold, which I would love to be able to do. Maybe one day I will. But it's more of a metaphor, really, and I work a lot with metaphors. So it's a metaphor for taking something worthless and making it priceless. So I specialise in working with opening up other people's senses beyond the five that we recognise in the West here. Taste,
Oh,
touch,
that sounds
smell.
pretty good.
Thank you.
So you do workshops and stuff in general, just out of interest, because I want to come to one because actually that's amazing.
I do, yes. And mostly I work from home, which is in Walton-on-Thames. I have a little healing room here, and also I run courses from our public area, if you like. But I can be commissioned to run courses in London, and I do past life workshops, Violet Flame, which I'll obviously be talking about at the little workshop I'm doing for you. And the main thing that I do is Riyad Sekem, and that is my Egyptian alchemy healing system.
Oh, wow, yes, I've heard about that. So that's something you came up with yourself, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
How does that work?
Well, I studied Reiki and Egyptian Reiki, which I think was absolutely amazing. I used the Teramai system, which I think is amazing, as I've said. But the notes that came with the system didn't really mention Egypt very much. So as an ex-travel agent, that was my background, I decided to go over to Egypt and fill in the gaps on the philosophies of ancient Egypt.
Oh, wow.
And after about 10 trips and lots of different synchronicities, I met a Egyptian tribal elder, and he told me lots of really amazing things. So I ended up developing my own system, which wasn't the intention, but it kind of happened by default, really. Yeah, so it brings in all the elements, earth, fire, water, air, and spirit, and ancient Egyptian philosophies, which are called Kemetian philosophies, because the old name for Egypt was Kem. But it also brings in colour breathing, sound vibration, crystals, and angels. I don't know if you know, my sister's a published angel author. She's had 10 books published. So mostly about Essene angelology. So that comes into it too. So it's a bit of a mixture, really, but I love it.
So tell me how this helps people then. So why would someone come to you?
Because what I do is I use these additional senses. Hakim, who was the name of the ancient tribal elder I told you about, he told me that we had up to 360 different perceptions.
Oh, wow.
So here we only identify the five: taste, touch, smell, hearing, and what's the other one? Sight. I forget that one. No, the main one. And obviously we do recognise telepathy and clairsentience, clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairaudience, if I haven't already said that, in our more spiritual community, if you like. But the idea that we're another 350 was pretty exciting. So through that, I use that to tune into people in a way. I think a lot of healers do use these extra perceptions. To be honest, I'm not claiming to be completely unique, but I've worked hard to open more, and it enables me to have a out of the box perspective on things. And I use it to tune into people, their past lives, if they're not believers in reincarnation, because we don't know if I'm really seeing a past life or whether it's just purely a metaphor that my guides are giving me. And I can use other metaphors if they're not into past lives, like symbols, and lots of things, in fact. Often it comes through as a physical feeling in the body. But I can also tune into their businesses. It sounds weird. But it's about the energy flow, really. So, yeah, why would they come to see me? Often it's because they know they need to. That might sound weird, but often people think, oh, that sounds fascinating, and they're just drawn to come. I never talk people into seeing me. If they're not right to come, I'd rather they didn't. But often it's people feel stuck in their private life, stuck in their spirit life, stuck in their commercial life, or it could be that they've got chronic aches and pains and conditions that nothing seems to help, and they just decide to try something different. And I can't always help them, but sometimes how I do help them is not in the way that they expect.
So all sorts of things then, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Versatile.
Joanna, you're doing a workshop at Awaken the Goddess about the violet flame. Could you tell? So I've worked with the violet flame a little bit on a course that I've done, but a lot of people wouldn't know about it. So tell us a bit about how it works, what it is.
Thank you. Well, the violet flame is a spiritual transformation tool. So it's fantastic for clearing a space that you don't feel comfortable with, that you feel might be a little bit negative. But it can be used also to cleanse emotions that have been stuck for a long, long time. So literally the fire you imagine burning away these issues that have been stuck. And it's very, very effective. What I want to do with the workshop, because you won't be alone in having experienced the violet flame, and I'm anticipating that we might have a few people along to the workshop who don't know anything about it at all, so we'll have a slightly introductory bit as well. But I want it to be very interactive. So the idea is I'll be showing you some symbols that I've developed. There are other symbols. As I said, I don't claim to be the best, whatever. What I do is what I like doing best, but I never say my system is better than anyone else's. It's so personal. It's all about what works for the individual. So there are other violet flame systems out there. There are other violet flame symbols out there, but I'll be showing you the one that I work with. We'll be playing with it and drawing it in the room and feeling it and invoking the energy. And if anybody has issues that they want to try and cleanse with it, why don't they come along to the workshop and see if it will shift it for them? That'll be my idea.
Yeah, I was really surprised how something so simple could have such a powerful impact and create such shifts. So yeah, definitely it's a workshop to come to on the day. So Joanna, I wanted to ask you one more thing. Tell me how you got into this line of work in the first place.
Oh gosh, that's difficult to do in a nutshell. Well, I suppose I grew up in a family where illness wasn't tolerated much. My dad thought that it should be mind over matter, and even when I had tonsillitis, he made me go to school. So we didn't go to the doctor much, but that would have been what we did if we were ill. So over time, I just got aware of alternative systems that were out there. And when I had my children about 20 years ago, just over 20 years ago, I got all into homeopathy with arnica and various medications I could take through the pregnancy and after that. Then I got into crystals and essential oils, and like a lot of people, it became an avalanche of different alternative systems. And Reiki I discovered by accident because a man came up to me after an event I'd done where I was a public speaker. And I worked in the travel industry for about 15, 20 years, and I was a trainer in that industry. I used to train public speaking as well. So when I came off from that talk, I was actually quite pleased because it had gone well. And this man came up to me and said I needed some healing. And I was really offended because I didn't know what he meant. I thought he meant that my speech was, obviously left me in a complete mental turmoil, and I was full of stress or something like that from that event. That's how I thought he meant. But my stunned silence while I tried to work out how to politely tell him to leave me alone, he took as permission to give me healing. So he put his hands over my shoulders about here, and I felt an amazing transformation. I felt like what do they say, an albatross. An albatross had been on my neck, but I didn't know it was there, and it flew off. So it was so tangible that I thought, oh, I've got to find out more of this. And he was a Reiki healer. So he opened the door for me to energy healing.
Amazing.
From there, I did level 1 with him. It really helped my mum. I mean, I had a healing day at my house, and my mum, she's been dead some years now, but she'd had mental health issues for donkey's years. And she didn't have any positive emotions. Life was very mundane for her, and she was quite materialistic and so on. And I had a healing day with this guy at my house, which she came to. And the next morning she phoned up and said she'd had the first feeling of joy for 40 years.
Wow.
It was so profound. I felt I've got to find out more. Yeah. And I ended up learning it myself, and it went from there. So that opened the door. Does that answer your question?
It does, yeah, definitely. Yeah. The most interesting stories come from things like that, where someone's had a really profound experience and it's changed their life in terms of their career trajectory, yes, or what they want to do. And it's just I love hearing things like that.
It was so unexpected as well, because I hadn't asked for the healing, and really when we learn about healing, we're told don't force it on people. So it completely broke the rules in a way, but it was obviously meant to be. Yeah, I had to be woken up to it.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So I'm really looking forward to your Awaken the Goddess. I did it last year, as you know. So this year I'll be even more anticipatory because I know more about it. having been before.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing you there. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I'll actually get a chance to come to your workshop, because I couldn't go to any last year because I was all over the place. But I would really like to come to yours. So yeah, I'll see you on the day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.